I always thought my job at Wellsford Dynamics was the start of a bright future. Every morning I walked in with a stupid smile on my face, holding my coffee like it was some kind of trophy. Leah used to laugh at me for it. "Why do you look so excited at 8 in the morning?" she asked one day as we stepped out of the elevator. "Because I like being here," I said. "I feel like I'm building something. Like I matter." "You do matter," she said. "Vanessa even said your last report was impressive." I smiled at that. Vanessa's approval meant everything back then. She was the kind of boss who looked like she walked straight out of a leadership magazine, calm voice, bright eyes, perfect posture. She always said the right things. Or, that's what I used to think. That morning, I walked into her office with a folder pressed to my chest. "Good morning, Vanessa. I finished the client proposal you asked for." She didn't look up from her laptop. "Just leave it on the desk." "Sure," I said, waiting, hoping she'd ask something, say something, anything. After a long moment, she finally looked up. "You're still here?" "Oh, yeah. I just wanted to know if you needed any changes." "I'll let you know," she said. "Close the door on your way out." I tried to ignore the sting. Maybe she was busy. Maybe I was reading too much into her tone. I kept telling myself that. Back at my desk, Leah leaned over and whispered, "So? Did she say anything?" "Not really," I said. "She'll review it later." "Hey, don't stress. Your work is good." "I hope so," I replied. "This project means a lot to me." "It should," she said. "You basically carried it." I didn't respond, but she wasn't wrong. When the day of the presentation finally arrived, I walked into the conference room feeling like my chest was on fire, in a good way. My hands were shaking, but the excited kind of shaking. Leah squeezed my arm. "You'll crush it." "I hope so." Vanessa walked in last, heels clicking like gunshots. "Let's begin," she said. "I'll lead." "You'll present the final slides, right?" I asked softly. She gave me a tight smile. "We'll see." I didn't understand what that meant, but I nodded anyway. I wanted to trust her. I really did. As she started speaking, I waited for my cue. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. Then 20. She didn't look at me once. Instead, she flipped through the slides I had created, acting like she'd spent weeks on them. Vanessa?" I whispered when she paused. "Should I?" "No," she said without turning her head. "I've got it." My throat tightened. I sat back, trying to breathe normally, trying not to show how much it hurt. Then it happened. A senior executive raised his hand. "This data looks inconsistent." "Who worked on it?" Vanessa didn't blink. "He did," she said, pointing straight at me. "I told him to revise it. I guess he didn't listen." My heart slammed against my ribs. "What?" "Vanessa, that's not." She cut me off. "If you made a mistake, just say so." "I didn't," I said, my voice shaking. "You approved every part." "Let's not lie in front of everyone," she said calmly, like she was teaching a child not to spill milk. The room fell silent. I felt every pair of eyes burning into me. Leah whispered, "Say something." "I'm trying," I whispered back, but my voice didn't sound like mine anymore. One of the executives sighed. "We can fix the data, but this is disappointing. We expected more professionalism." Professionalism. The word hit harder than anything else. "I didn't mess up the data," I said, louder this time. "I followed every instruction Vanessa gave me." Vanessa laughed softly. "Please stop embarrassing yourself." My stomach dropped. I stood there, frozen, while she finished the presentation using my work, my ideas, my hours, and destroyed my reputation in the same breath. When the meeting ended, I walked out of the room slowly. Leah followed me. "Hey," she whispered. "Are you okay?" "No," I said. "I'm not." "What are you going to do?" I stared at the wall, forcing myself to breathe. "I don't know." But deep inside, something cracked, a clean split between the version of me who trusted people blindly and the version who would never make that mistake again. I didn't sleep the night after the presentation. My mind kept replaying Vanessa's voice saying, "Please stop embarrassing yourself." By morning, I felt sick, but I still marched straight to her office. "Do you have a minute?" I asked, standing at her door. She didn't look up. "If this is about yesterday, make it quick." "It is about yesterday," I said, stepping inside. "Why did you throw me under the bus?" She finally looked at me, her expression cold. "Because someone had to take responsibility." "But the data wasn't wrong," I said. "You reviewed it with me." "Did I?" she asked, tilting her head. "I don't remember approving anything." My breath caught. "Vanessa, you sat with me for 2 hours." She shrugged. "Maybe you misunderstood." "No," I said. "You knew that presentation mattered. You knew I wanted that promotion." She leaned back in her chair. "And that's exactly why I did what I did." I froze. "What do you mean?" "You've been getting too comfortable," she said. "Talking like you're ready to climb higher. Some people need reminders of their place." "My place?" I whispered. "Yes," she said. "You're not ready for the position you think you deserve. I needed you to slow down. So you humiliated me on purpose." "Don't be dramatic," she said. It was a soft correction. I almost laughed. "You ruined my reputation in front of the whole executive team." "It'll pass," she said. "People forget things. But you blamed me for something you did." She sighed loudly. "I didn't make you look bad. You did that yourself by reacting emotionally in the meeting." My hands shook. "So this is my fault now?" "Everything is your fault if you can't control your own image," she said. "You should learn that." I stared at her, feeling something inside me collapse. "Were you also the one who told people I wasn't reliable?" Her eyebrows lifted just slightly. "People talk. Did you start it?" I pressed. She didn't answer, which told me everything. I felt my voice breaking. "Why? What did I ever do to you?" "You believed you were indispensable," she said. "No one is." I stepped back. "I trusted you." "That was your mistake," she said. "Close the door on your way out." Outside her office, I leaned against the wall, trying not to fall apart. Leah hurried over. "Hey," she whispered. "What happened? You look pale." "She admitted it," I said. "She sabotaged me on purpose." Leah's face tightened. "Are you sure? Maybe she just—" "She said it outright," I whispered. "She wanted to remind me of my place." Leah looked away. "Okay, but maybe you misunderstood her tone." "You weren't there," I said. "Why are you defending her?" "I'm not," she said quickly. I don't want you to make things worse." "Worse?" I stared at her. "She ruined me in that meeting." Leah lowered her voice. "People are already talking. They think you messed up the data." "Because she told them that," I said. "You know I didn't." She hesitated. "I know you work hard, but maybe you should keep a low profile for a while." "So you think I should just let her do this?" I asked. "I think you should be careful," she said. "She has more power than you. And you're afraid to go against her," I said quietly. She didn't deny it. I walked away before she could say anything else. I didn't trust my voice anymore. By noon, HR sent me an email requesting a meeting. Perfect. Another blow. When I walked into the HR office, a woman named Sandra gestured for me to sit. "Thanks for coming," she said. "I wanted to discuss yesterday's presentation." "I'm sure you've already heard," I said. She nodded. "There are concerns about the accuracy of the data you prepared." "It wasn't inaccurate," I said. "Vanessa approved all of it." Sandra folded her hands. "She said you presented numbers she didn't review." "That's a lie." She blinked at the firmness in my voice. "Do you have proof?" "What proof do I need?" I asked. She was in the same room when I finalized the slides. Sandra exhaled. "Look. I'm not saying this is your fault. But the executives were disappointed. They're worried about your judgment." "My judgment?" I repeated. "My judgment was trusting my boss." "I understand this is difficult," she said softly. "But you need to decide how you want to move forward." "You mean whether I stay or leave?" She didn't answer, which again told me everything. I stood up. "Thank you for your honesty." By the time I returned to my desk, word had spread even more. People avoided my eyes. A few whispered when I walked past. Leah approached slowly. "Hey. HR called me in too. They wanted to know if I saw anything wrong with the data." "And what did you say?" She hesitated. "I said I didn't know enough to comment." "You couldn't say I did the work right?" I asked. "I didn't want to get pulled into office politics," she whispered. "I'm sorry. I felt something crack all over again." "You were supposed to be my friend." "I am," she insisted. "I just didn't want trouble." "Then you're not my friend," I said quietly. "Because I would have defended you." Leah didn't follow me when I walked away. I spent the next hour staring at my screen, but the words blurred until they meant nothing. My chest felt tight, my throat dry. Vanessa humiliated me. HR doubted me. Leah abandoned me. And the worst part? I wasn't surprised anymore. Finally, I opened a blank email. My fingers shook, but I typed anyway. Subject, resignation, effective immediately. When I hit send, I expected to feel scared. Empty. Defeated. But instead, something small and sharp ignited in my chest. A seed. Maybe anger. Maybe resolve. Maybe the beginning of a story I never planned to live. All I knew was this. If Vanessa wanted me to remember my place, I would build a world where she had none. The first week after quitting felt like falling without hitting the ground. Every morning I woke up thinking, I should be at work right now, and then the memory of Vanessa's face hit me all over again. One afternoon, when I couldn't take the silence anymore, I called the only person I trusted outside that world. "Mr. Chen?" I asked when he answered. "It's me." "It's been a long time," he said gently. "Your voice sounds heavy. What happened?" "I lost my job," I said. I walked out. I don't even know anymore." "Come see me," he said. "You shouldn't carry this alone." His small tea shop smelled exactly the same, jasmine, old books, and calm. He motioned for me to sit. "Tell me everything," he said. I did. Every word of it. Vanessa's sabotage. The meeting. Leah's silence. HR's coldness. When I finished, he exhaled slowly. "So she broke you," he said. "She tried," I whispered. "Some days it feels like she succeeded." "She didn't," he said. "If she had, you wouldn't be here." "I feel useless," I admitted. "I can't sleep, can't think. I don't know how to start over." He poured tea into 2 cups. "Then start by accepting what happened. You were betrayed. I trusted her. And she used that trust to control you, he said. People like her don't fear consequences because no one ever delivers them. I stared at my cup. What am I supposed to do? Wait for karma? He leaned closer. Karma doesn't just happen. People make it happen. I looked up. Are you saying I should get revenge? I'm saying you should rebuild yourself so completely that those who broke you choke on their own choices, he said. If you rise, they fall. That is karma. I don't know if I'm strong enough. You'll learn, he said. But you can't do it alone. There's someone you should meet. That evening, I found myself sitting in a quiet cafe waiting for a stranger. A man with sharp eyes and messy hair walked over. You're the one Chen talked about, he asked. I guess so, I said. You're Aiden. Yeah, he said, dropping into the seat across from me. He told me you need direction. I need a whole new life, I said. I don't have money. I don't have confidence. I don't have anything. Good, he said. Good. I repeated. People with nothing are dangerous, he said. They're willing to rebuild from scratch. I don't want revenge just to feel powerful, I said. I want justice. I want my life back. Then tell me, he said. What's the real plan in your head? The one you're afraid to say out loud. I hesitated. I want to make sure Vanessa never has the chance to destroy someone else the way she destroyed me. He smiled slightly. Now that's a real goal. But to pull this off, you need skills. You need strategy. You need stability. I don't even know where to start. I do, he said. You can work with me part-time. I'll teach you everything I know about business structures, leadership games, and company weaknesses. Why would you help me? I asked. He shrugged. Chen asked. And besides, I like watching corrupt people fall. Consider it a shared hobby. I almost laughed. I don't feel ready for anything big. You don't have to be ready, he said. You just have to be willing. Over the next weeks, my life became a strange mix of exhaustion and clarity. Mornings spent learning with Aiden. Afternoons talking with Mr. Chen. Nights lying awake thinking about the pieces of myself I had lost, and the pieces I could rebuild. One day, after a long session about corporate strategies, Aiden looked at me and said, "You're not the same person from 2 weeks ago." I feel different, I admitted. More awake. You were crushed, he said. Now you're sharpening. I let out a breath. Is it wrong that part of me wants Vanessa to see me rise? Wanting justice isn't wrong, he said. Wanting to destroy someone who tried to destroy you isn't either. So you think I can really do this? He leaned back. You're already doing it. You're learning faster than most people I've trained. I smiled for the first time in days. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, he said. Your next step is harder. What is it? You need to stop seeing yourself as the victim, he said. Victims stay stuck. Builders move forward. Later that evening, I met Mr. Chen again. You look more alive, he said. I feel something changing, I said. Like I'm taking control. That's the beginning, he said. Now tell me, what do you want to build? I thought about the company. The lies. The humiliation. The fear. Then I thought about the fire growing in my chest. I want a life where she can never touch me again, I said. And maybe, someday. I want her to face the consequences she escaped. Mr. Chen smiled softly. Then keep going. This path will hurt, but it will free you. I nodded. I'm ready. For the first time since losing everything, I felt the truth settle inside me. I wasn't just surviving. I was becoming someone new. I stared at the blank office space I had just rented and whispered, so this is where my comeback begins. Aiden stepped inside behind me. It's small, but you can turn this into something dangerous. Dangerous for Vanessa, I said, gripping the edge of the dusty desk. I'm not here to play safe anymore. He laughed. Then start by telling me what you actually want to build. I want a consultancy that does what her company pretends to do, I said. Real strategies. Honest execution. No manipulation. Good, he said, dropping his bag onto a chair. Then say it like you believe it. This is your battlefield now. I inhaled slowly. I'm back. The next few days passed in a blur. I made calls, reviewed proposals, and met people who were far more talented than the company I left ever deserved. When the first applicant, Maya, entered the office, she asked, "Is it really just you running this place?" "For now," I said. "But I need people who aren't afraid to build something new." She raised an eyebrow. "What exactly are you offering that the big firms can't?" "Integrity," I replied. "And a leader who'll never throw them to the wolves for personal gain." She studied me for a second. "Sounds refreshing. When do I start?" "Today, if you're ready." "Then let's get to work," she said. Later that afternoon, another candidate, Jonah, sat across from me with a curious smile. "Why do you remind me of someone who's plotting a war?" I smirked. "Because I am. But it's strategic, not impulsive." "Count me in," he said. I like strategic wars. By the end of the week, I had a small team, 3 people who believed in my vision more than I believed in myself. Their loyalty came from the way I spoke, from the determination they sensed beneath every word. During our first official meeting, I stood at the whiteboard and said, "I'm not hiding my intentions. We're going to compete with the company I left. Her name is Vanessa, and she's as ruthless as they come." Maya tilted her head. "Ruthless how?" "She humiliates people publicly, spreads rumors, sabotages careers," I said. "She did it to me. She'll try to do it to us." Jonah crossed his arms. "Then let's give her a reason to panic." Aiden clapped his hands. "Your job is simple, deliver better results than anyone else in the market. If you do that, her downfall will take care of itself." I glanced at them and felt something warm forming in my chest. "All right," I said. "Let's start with our first pitch." A week later, I was preparing for a presentation that could change everything. The client, Harrington Tech, had been unhappy with Vanessa's firm for months. I wanted them to see that I could do better, faster, cleaner, and without the political games. Before the meeting, Aiden whispered, "You're ready. Stop doubting it." "I'm not doubting," I said. "I'm recalibrating." "Same thing," he teased. "Just don't freeze when you see Vanessa's mess on their table." When the clients entered the room, their director, Mr. Ramos, shook my hand. "I heard you used to work under Vanessa." "I did," I said plainly. "And I learned exactly what not to do." His eyes widened, then he chuckled. "Honesty. I like that already." During the meeting, I laid out ideas with confidence I didn't know I still had. Maya chimed in with insights, Jonah presented the numbers, and Aiden closed with a technical demonstration that made the room go silent. When the presentation ended, Mr. Ramos leaned back. "Why hasn't anyone pitched this approach to me before?" "Because most firms sell fear," I said. "We sell solutions." He exchanged glances with his colleagues. "Give us a day to discuss." As they left, Jonah punched the air. "We crushed it." "We did," I said, surprised at how steady my voice sounded. That evening, I received an email notification. My stomach tightened as I opened it. Maya noticed my expression. "What is it?" I turned the laptop toward them. "We got the contract." Jonah whistled. "Vanessa's going to lose her mind." Aiden smirked. "Speaking of which, you should hear what I heard today." "What now?" I asked. She called Harrington Tech after your meeting, he said, leaning against the wall. Told them you were inexperienced, unstable, and unprepared to handle big clients. Maya scoffed. She really thought that would work. She's convinced she's untouchable, Aiden said. But Ramos shut her down immediately. He told her, we already found someone who actually listens. A slow smile crept across my face. Good. Let her sweat. The following morning, my phone buzzed with an unknown number. I answered cautiously. Hello. A sharp, cold voice responded, so it's true. Vanessa, I said calmly. You're running a company now, she said. Cute. I don't need your approval. She laughed harshly. You think you can steal my clients? You. After everything? I didn't steal anything, I said. They chose me because I delivered what you couldn't. You're making a mistake, she snapped. You're playing in a league you don't belong in. Maybe, I said softly, or maybe you underestimated the wrong person. The silence that followed felt like fuel. Enjoy your little win, she said finally. It won't last. She hung up before I could respond. Maya peeked into my office. Was that her? It was, I said. And she's rattled. Jonah grinned. Then we keep pushing. Aiden stepped forward. Exactly. This is just the beginning. I looked at them, my team, my allies, my new foundation, and felt a fierce determination rise in my chest. This time, I said, I'm fighting on my terms. And for the first time since everything collapsed, I believed I could win. I stared at the market report on my screen and whispered, she's slipping faster than I expected. Aiden leaned over my shoulder. Then press harder. Vanessa only understands pressure. I'm pressing, I said. But I'm not crossing lines I can't come back from. He smirked. You say that now. I mean it, I insisted, though even I could hear the uncertainty under my voice. Maya entered with her tablet. You need to see this. Vanessa's team just launched a campaign identical to ours. I exhaled sharply. She's trying to sabotage our new client pitch. Jonah shook his head. She's desperate. Copying us is a bad look. It's bold, I muttered, but sloppy. Aiden tapped the table. So? Counterattack? Not yet, I said. Let her trip on her own arrogance. But inside, my thoughts churned. How far was I willing to go? How much of myself was I ready to lose in the process? Later that afternoon, I received an anonymous message, she's watching your office. Keep your guard up. I frowned. Aiden, who would send me this? He read the message and shrugged. Someone who knows Vanessa is spiraling. Or someone who knows more about me than they should, I said quietly. The next morning, I met an old contact, Serena, at a cafe. She leaned in as soon as I sat down. You're making noise. Vanessa hates noise. I know, I said. I just didn't think she'd start stalking my office. She's not stalking, Serena replied. She's gathering intel. I stiffened. Intel from who? Serena hesitated. Someone close to you. My pulse quickened. Who? You'll have to look at who had the most access. I froze. The name hit me before she even said it. Leah. I leaned back, breath shallow. She wouldn't. You sure? Serena asked softly. She still works for Vanessa. She said she wanted to stay neutral, I whispered. Neutral doesn't exist in war, Serena said. You know that. The words cut deeper than I expected. When I returned to the office, Maya immediately noticed the tension in my voice. What happened? Nothing, I said, avoiding her eyes. Aiden blocked my path. No. Talk. I sighed. I think Leah's been feeding Vanessa information about our strategies. Jonah looked stunned. Seriously? Why? I swallowed hard. Because she's always been closer to Vanessa than she pretended. Maya stepped closer. Do you want proof? Yes, I said. But I'm scared of what I'll do once I have it. Aiden rested a hand on my shoulder. You're not the villain here. You're fighting back. Am I? I murmured. Or am I becoming like Vanessa? No, he said firmly. You still ask yourself that question. She never does. His words steadied me, but only barely. That evening, I sent Leah a message, we need to talk. She replied almost instantly, sure. Same cafe. I arrived early, rehearsing what I'd say. When Leah walked in, she gave me that familiar smile, the one I once believed in so blindly. I've missed you, she said, taking a seat. I didn't return the smile. I need honesty. She blinked. About what? About whether you've been telling Vanessa things about me. Her face tightened. Why would I do that? That's what I'm trying to understand. She sighed. Look. Vanessa asked questions. I answered a few. Nothing harmful. My nails dug into my palm. You told her about our deals. Our clients. Our strategy sessions. It wasn't like that, she protested. She said she just wanted to know how you were doing. Leah, I said quietly, she humiliated me. She destroyed my career. And you helped her. She grew defensive. I didn't help her. I just. You chose her, I said. You always did. She looked away. I didn't think you'd get this far. I felt the words like a blow. So you didn't believe in me. I didn't think you could win against her, she admitted. I wanted to stay safe. Safe with someone who ruins people. She didn't reply. I stood up. Goodbye, Leah. Please don't cut me off, she whispered. You already did that, I said. You just didn't realize it. Walking away felt like tearing off a piece of myself. Back at the office, Aiden asked, so? I ended it, I said. Both the friendship and the trust. Maya squeezed my hand. Good. Now you can move without looking over your shoulder. Can I? I wondered aloud. Jonah looked up from his laptop. If it helps, Vanessa just made her biggest mistake yet. My heart thudded. What happened? He turned the screen toward me. A video played, Vanessa at a corporate event, bragging about a groundbreaking campaign. Except every detail she mentioned belonged to our unreleased proposal. Maya gasped. She exposed herself publicly. Aiden grinned. She basically admitted she's stealing your ideas. I watched the video again, my pulse rising with every second. She doesn't realize what she's done. No, Jonah said. But everyone else does. I leaned back, letting the realization settle. This is it. The crack in her armor. Aiden crossed his arms. And you didn't even have to touch her. Maya smiled. Karma's moving. I exhaled slowly. Good. Because I'm done fighting in the dark. But even as I said it, another truth whispered inside me. I was starting to enjoy the shadows a little too much. I slammed the newest legal notice on the table. She actually filed this? Vanessa's lost her mind. Aiden skimmed it. She's scared. This is what scared people do. She's not scared, I muttered. She's cornered, and a cornered person bites. Maya walked in with a worried look. 2 clients called. They said Vanessa told them we're unstable. My chest tightened. Unstable? She's spreading that now. Jonah added, she also tried to poach our biggest account. They asked if you really forged contracts. I stared at him. Forged contracts? She's accusing me of fraud now. Aiden folded his arms. Then we go public. Show everyone she's lying. No, I said. Not yet. If I act too fast, I look guilty. Maya frowned. Then what do we do? I rubbed my temples. We hold steady. We keep delivering. Her stories fall apart when people see the truth. But inside, I felt the pressure crushing me. One wrong step, and everything I'd built could collapse. Later that afternoon, Maya rushed into my office. We have a problem. The Patel deal is falling apart. I stood instantly. What happened? They think we lack resources, she said. Vanessa's team hinted we're drowning financially. Aiden looked at me. We are drowning financially. Not for long, I said, trying to convince myself as much as them. We went to the meeting room where Mr. Patel waited. He looked uneasy. I've heard concerning things about your company. I forced a calm voice. Then let me address them directly. He adjusted his glasses. Are you stable enough to handle this partnership? I can't risk failure. We're stable because we adapt, I said. And we innovate faster than your other options. Aiden nodded. And we're fully transparent. No corporate games. Mr. Patel hesitated. Vanessa claims you're unpredictable. I leaned forward. She also claimed I was incompetent. Look at her track record and mine. Which one shows growth? He studied me carefully. I want proof. I opened our projections and the new model Aiden and I spent nights working on. Here's proof. After a long silence, Mr. Patel finally said, I'll think about it. As soon as he left, Maya whispered, we almost lost him. I sank into a chair. I know. And I can't keep having almost moments. Aiden sat beside me. Then we level up. No more safe moves. I swallowed. You think we should take bigger risks? Not stupid risks, he said. Calculated ones. But where's the line? I asked. Jonah answered quietly, the line is wherever you decide to stop before becoming Vanessa. His words stayed with me. That night, I stared at my ceiling, unable to sleep. How much am I changing? I whispered to myself. And is it worth it? But the next morning, the world didn't let me contemplate anything. Aiden burst in. Vanessa's doing a presentation for a board member you've been trying to reach. I stood. She stole my pitch, didn't she? Almost word for word, he confirmed. Maya hurried in with her laptop. Look at this, she's making moves to take over the Patel deal completely. I clenched my fists. If she wins today, we're done. Aiden said, then we go to the meeting. What? We weren't invited. You don't need an invitation, he said. You need evidence. 30 minutes later, we walked into the conference floor. Vanessa was already in the meeting room, smiling like she owned the world. When she saw me through the glass, her smile twitched. I knocked lightly and opened the door. Mind if I sit in? The board member, Mr. Graves, raised an eyebrow. I wasn't expecting you. I wasn't expecting my proposal to be stolen, I said plainly. Vanessa's face hardened. Your proposal? That's a serious accusation. Then let's talk about it, I said. Mr. Graves gestured for me to sit. I want to hear both sides. Vanessa spoke quickly. I developed this strategy with my team. Any similarity to your ideas is coincidental. I opened my folder and placed two documents side by side. Coincidental? Then why are the numbers identical? Why is the timeline the same down to the hour? Vanessa's jaw clenched. You're twisting this. Really? I replied. Because even the typos match. Mr. Graves examined both documents. Vanessa, this is concerning. She snapped, he's fabricating this to sabotage me. Then how did I get your internal draft notes? I asked calmly. Her eyes widened. You hacked. I cut her off. No. Someone from your team sent them to me because they couldn't stomach your methods anymore. The room fell silent. Vanessa's voice cracked. This is ridiculous. Mr. Graves folded his hands. Vanessa, step outside. When she left, he turned to me. You handled this well. I'm tired of games, I said. I just want fairness. He nodded. You'll have the Patel deal. And I'd like to discuss future partnerships. I felt something inside me loosen, a knot finally coming undone. As we walked out, Aiden bumped my shoulder. That was brilliant. Maya beamed. You shut her down without going low. Jonah added, this changes everything. People will see her differently now. I exhaled slowly. I'm not celebrating yet. Why not? Maya asked. Because Vanessa won't stop here, I said. But today. I won. Aiden grinned. Then enjoy it. Momentum shifting. I nodded, feeling strength return to my voice. Let her set the traps. I'm done falling into them. But deep down, I also knew one thing. The closer I got to winning, the more dangerous the game became. When Maya walked into my office with a stunned look, I knew something big had happened. You need to see this, she said, handing me her tablet. I scrolled through the industry feed. Another client left Vanessa. Not just any client, she said. 3 of her biggest ones walked out this morning. Aiden leaned against my desk. Her reputation is bleeding out. Everyone's talking about how unstable she's become. My heart tightened, not with fear this time, but with something strange, almost heavy. She did this to herself, I whispered. Yeah, Aiden said. But you pushed the first domino. I didn't deny it. An hour later, Leah showed up at my door. She hovered nervously, holding her phone with trembling hands. Can we talk? Aiden glanced at me. I nodded, and he left the room quietly. Leah stepped inside. I didn't know where else to go. I crossed my arms. Then say what you need to say. Her eyes watered. I messed up. I should have stood by you. I should have said something when Vanessa humiliated you. I should have stopped her lies. I was scared. I didn't want to lose my job. I swallowed hard. You could have warned me. You didn't even try. I know, she said, voice cracking. And I regret it every single day. I thought Vanessa would protect me if I stayed on her side. But she used me. Then she threw me away when things got bad. I didn't respond. I didn't trust my voice. She took a shaky breath. I'm sorry. I'm not asking you to forgive me today. I needed you to hear it from me. My chest felt tight, but I kept my tone calm. Thank you for saying it. But I can't pretend your choices didn't break something. Her tears spilled. I understand. She turned to leave, but before she reached the door, she whispered, you deserved better than all of us. When she walked out, I exhaled everything I'd been holding in. I felt relief, anger, sadness, everything tangled together. Maya stepped inside moments later. Are you okay? I don't know, I admitted. Part of me wanted to forgive her. Another part wants her to understand how deep it cut. Both parts are valid, Maya said gently. I nodded, even though the swirl in my chest didn't settle. By noon, the news spread even faster. Jonah burst into the room. Vanessa had a meltdown during her meeting. She accused her own team of sabotage. Aiden let out a short laugh. She's losing it. Publicly. I rubbed my face. I didn't want it to go this far. Didn't you? He asked softly. I paused. I wanted justice. Not, whatever this is. Watching her fall feels different than I expected. Maya added, maybe because now you're in control. You're not reacting anymore, you're choosing. Her words hit me hard. Was this growth? Or numbness? Before I could answer, Jonah said, she's been calling people non-stop, trying to salvage what's left. And failing, Aiden added. I looked out the window. She built her empire on fear and manipulation. Without that, there's nothing holding it together. And you're what pushed people to finally see her, Maya said. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. In the afternoon, Leah texted me, she's looking for you. I stared at the message. She wants a confrontation, I murmured. Aiden looked up. Then be ready for it. I'm ready, I said. I've been ready for months. But the truth was. I felt something else twisting inside me, closure or dread, I couldn't tell. When Vanessa finally walked into my office, she looked nothing like the polished, arrogant woman who once controlled every room. Her hair was messy, her eyes red, her hands trembling. She slammed the door. You're enjoying this, aren't you? I kept my voice steady. Enjoying what? My life falling apart, she snapped. My clients leaving. My board losing faith. You think you won? I took a slow breath. I didn't make you treat people the way you did. She scoffed. Don't pretend you're innocent. You've been waiting to destroy me. I've been rebuilding myself, I corrected. Your downfall is something you created. She stepped closer. You could have come back. I would have promoted you eventually. You ruined your own chances. My voice dropped. You humiliated me in front of an entire department. You spread rumors about me. You stole my work. Why would I ever return to that? Because I made you, she shouted. Your success came from me. My anger spiked, not the trembling kind, but the sharp, controlled kind. No. My success came from my work. You took credit for it. That's why your world is collapsing now, you don't know how to stand without taking from others. She stared at me, stunned. I continued, people finally see you clearly. That's not my victory. That's your truth catching up to you. Her voice wavered. I can fix this if you back off. If you stop talking to my clients, stop pushing into my space. I cut her off. I didn't sabotage you. I didn't attack you. I built something of my own. And people chose me because I treat them with honesty. Her expression twisted. You think you're better than me. I think I'm done being afraid of you, I said quietly. She went silent. For the first time, she had nothing to say. Finally, she whispered, you're really not coming back, are you? No, I said. And you can't control me anymore. She looked around my office, her voice breaking. You were supposed to stay under me. I shook my head. I outgrew you. She flinched. After a long, trembling pause, she asked, then what happens now? Whatever happens, I said, you face it alone. Just like I did. Her eyes filled with panic, real panic, not anger. She turned, opened the door with unsteady hands, and walked out without another word. Aiden stepped in moments later. So? How'd it go? I let out a slow breath. She fell apart. And how do you feel? He asked. I stared at the doorway she disappeared through. Like I finally won, I said softly. But also like I'm finally free. And for the first time, the war inside me felt like it was ending. I heard she finally got the notice, Daniel said as he walked beside me, his voice low but buzzing with restrained excitement. I nodded. Legal, financial, and social consequences, it all caught up to her. You don't sound happy about it. I'm not unhappy, I replied. I'm just processing the end of something that stole years of my life. He exhaled slowly. Want to talk about it? Not yet. I need to see it through before I decide how I feel. We reached the lobby of my building, sunlight reflecting off the polished floors. My reflection in the glass looked calmer, stronger, someone who earned their peace, not stumbled into it. My assistant rushed toward me. There's a call from the board. They want confirmation that you're moving ahead with the acquisition. I am, I said. And Vanessa, she hesitated. She'll have to accept the consequences like everyone else. My assistant nodded and stepped back. Daniel leaned closer. She called me earlier. Sounded defeated. I'm not interested in talking to her unless it's necessary, I said. This chapter of my life needs to close properly. When we entered my office, Leah was waiting inside, hands clasped, eyes full of remorse. I know I should have asked before coming in, but... It's fine, I said quietly. I just wanted to say. I'm sorry. Truly sorry. Her voice trembled. I thought helping her would protect my job, but all I did was hurt you. I regret it every day. I studied her expression, raw guilt, no excuses. Why now? Because Vanessa finally collapsed under everything she did, and watching her lose everything made me realize how wrong I was to ever stand beside her. She swallowed. You didn't deserve any of it. You're right, I said. I didn't. She winced at the sharpness of my tone. If you can't forgive me, I understand. I just needed to say it. I don't hate you, Leah, I said. But trust, that's harder to rebuild. She nodded. I'll take whatever distance you need. Just, thank you for hearing me. When she left, Daniel raised an eyebrow. You handled that with more grace than I expected. I'm tired of carrying anger, I said. Revenge has its cost. I've paid enough. He stepped closer. Are you all right? I will be. The afternoon moved quickly, meetings, signatures, confirmations of Vanessa's shrinking influence. One client laughed bitterly over the phone. She tried to strong-arm us again. But after your proposal, we'd be fools to stay with her. I appreciate your confidence, I said. You earned it, he replied before hanging up. Another call came, Vanessa's attorney. Ms. Hale requests a final conversation before she proceeds with negotiations. I closed my eyes for a moment. Set it for this evening. As the sun dipped, I drove to a quiet cafe she chose. When I walked inside, she was already there, hair messy, expression hardened by exhaustion. You look good, she said bitterly. I worked for it, I answered, sitting across from her. She scoffed. Congratulations. You got what you wanted. You did that to yourself, I replied. I just stopped letting you win. Her jaw clenched. Do you even feel bad? Watching everything I built collapse. Do you feel bad about what you did to me? I asked. Her silence answered for her. I warned you I wouldn't stay quiet forever, I continued. And instead of stepping back, you pushed harder. She leaned forward. We could have been allies. We were never allies, I said. You saw me as a threat the moment I started succeeding. She swallowed, voice small for the first time. I'm losing everything. I know, I said. And I'm not celebrating it. But I'm not saving you either. Her eyes burned with something between rage and despair. You're colder than I thought. No, I said calmly. Just done. I stood, leaving her with her downfall and her silence. Back outside, the air felt lighter. Daniel called. "How'd it go?" "It's over," I said. "Truly over." "Good," he replied. "Then come back. The team wants to celebrate the acquisition. I'll be there soon." Before returning, I made one final stop, my old office building. The place where she once pushed me out and assumed I'd disappear. I walked up to the familiar doors. They looked smaller now, less intimidating. With a slow, steady breath, I placed my hand on one handle. "I'm not that person anymore," I whispered. The metal was cool, unfamiliar. I pulled the door softly, not to enter, but to close it. A symbolic ending to everything she took from me. As it clicked shut, something inside me finally settled. Justice without cruelty. Closure without bitterness. Growth without forgetting the scars. Daniel's voice came through the phone again. "You still there?" "Yeah," I said, turning away from the past. "But I'm heading back now." "You sound different." "I feel different," I replied. Ready for whatever comes next. And as I walked toward my car, the city lights flickering like quiet applause, I finally felt free. "I still can't believe how different things look now," Daniel said as we walked through the nearly finished workspace of my new project. His voice echoed against the clean walls. "It feels strange," I admitted. "Starting something that isn't about fighting someone." "A good strange," he said. "You deserve that." "I'm still getting used to the idea." He glanced at me. "You worried you won't know who you are without the war?" I gave a half laugh. "A little. Revenge was a heavy compass. Now I need a new one. Maybe that's the point. You get to choose freely this time." I touched one of the desks, the wood smooth beneath my fingers. "This place, it feels like a reset. Something built on purpose, not pain." "Then tell me what you want it to become," he said. "In your own words." "I want it to be a space for ideas," I said. "For growth. For people who want to build instead of destroy. I want honesty to be worth something here." "That sounds like a leader who learned the hard way." "I did," I said quietly. "And I don't regret learning it." He smiled. "Good. Because the team believes in you." "I'm starting to believe in myself, too," I admitted. "In a different way than before." We entered the conference room, still boxed with supplies. Leah was inside, organizing files. She looked up, unsure. "I didn't know you'd be here," she said. "It's okay," I answered. "How's everything coming along?" "Smoothly. Everyone's settling into their roles." Daniel excused himself, leaving us alone. Leah approached me cautiously. "I wanted to say again that I'm grateful you gave me a chance to help, even from a distance." "You're doing your job well," I said. She searched my face. "Does that mean things are okay between us?" "Not the way they were," I said. "But I'm not holding the past over your head. You can grow, too." Her shoulders loosened. "Thank you." "Really?" I nodded, and she stepped out, giving me space. I stood by the window, watching the city stretch in every direction. The skyline had always felt intimidating, but today it looked like possibility. My phone buzzed, another investor asking for a meeting, another opportunity unrelated to old wounds. When I answered, the voice on the other end was enthusiastic. "We've reviewed your proposal. It's fresh, innovative, and grounded. We'd love to discuss long-term collaboration." "I'm open to it," I said. "Could you come in tomorrow morning?" "Absolutely." After the call, Daniel returned. "Good news?" "Potentially great news." He grinned. "See? Life after chaos." "I didn't think I'd get here," I said. "Not this soon." "I did," he replied. "You just needed time." I took a deep breath. I don't want to be driven by the past anymore. Then don't be. It's not that simple. It is, he said gently. You let it go by choosing something new every day. And what about trusting people again? I asked. You don't have to trust everyone. Just trust yourself first. That's harder than it sounds. Then start small. What does small look like? It looks like letting people in without expecting betrayal, he said. Like building something because you want to, not because you're trying to outrun something. I leaned against the wall. I'm trying. You're doing better than you think. Later, as the team dispersed for the evening, I walked outside. The air was cool, the streetlights flickering softly. For the first time in a long time, the night didn't feel like a weight pressing on my shoulders. Instead, it felt like an open door. I wandered toward a small park nearby. A woman sat on a bench sketching the skyline. She looked up when I approached. Sorry, she said, smiling. Didn't mean to stare. You looked like someone deep in thought. I usually am, I said. What about today? She asked. Today. I'm thinking about beginnings. That's a good thing to think about, she said. I'm Maya, by the way. I paused, realizing how different it felt to introduce myself without the shadow of my past. I'm someone learning how to move forward. She laughed softly. A work in progress? Something like that. Well, she said, progress is still progress. I sat on the bench beside her, the silence between us comfortable, unforced. For once, I wasn't thinking about battles. Or losses. Or victories. I was thinking about possibility. Maya closed her sketchbook. Whatever you're stepping into. I hope it's good for you. I think it will be, I said. As the wind brushed softly against us, I felt something shift inside, a quiet, steady certainty. My story wasn't ending. It was beginning again. And this time, it was entirely my choice.